Hi, this is Neil, and we're here to start your leg stretches. First, we're going to start with your ankles and feet. Sitting on a chair, on the ground, whatever's comfortable for you. First, we're just going to wake up the bottom of the foot. A lot of people complain of plantar fasciitis. Sometimes those fascia down at the bottom of the feet are just way too tight. So what we do is place the thumb on one side, press down and in a little bit, and then on the other side, press down and in a little bit. You make an S. Then on the other side, on the other side. Going from heel to the ball of the foot, just waking it up. After that, we warm up the toes. Start first by just forward bending those toes all the way in, stretching out the top of the foot, and then pulling them back, stretching out the back of the foot. I like to do this at least 3 times. Just pulling down, opening up the top of the foot, and pulling it back, stretching out the bottom of the foot. Again, just crumpling up those toes, and opening up the bottom of the foot. Next, we're going to go side to side. Get your toes used to some lateral motion. A lot of times people complain of foot pain, toe pain. When they exercise, they haven't prepared their feet properly for exercise. So we're just taking the time to do that right now. Next, an ankle roll. We're going to stabilize the ankle by holding it right over on the side of the leg. And then, without going too far, just respect that range of motion, your natural range of motion. Don't push past it, but do a nice slow circle and feel through that range of motion. Feel what your limit is, and just press gently against that door. Over time, as much as it can open, it will. After 3 slow circles, I like to repeat on the other direction, just nice and slow. Just waking up that range of motion before we put the demands on it. We're about to. And then last, my favorite, shake it out. Same thing, other side. First, by just waking up the bottom of the foot, helping alleviate any plantar fasciitis issues by waking up the fascia down there, just by making a little S. It's about a pinky's width apart, running from here to here. If you have tight calves, it can often radiate down, creating a shortening here at the bottom of the foot. So we're just waking that up. Next, the toes. First, we just crumple it down, really stretching out that foot. Stretching out the top of the foot, and then pulling it back, stretching out the bottom of the foot. Again, crumpling up the toes, lengthening out the top of the foot, getting that nice solid stretch there. And then pulling it back and opening up the feet. It's amazing, we put these things in shoes and just beat them up. Got to give them a little bit of TLC. So here we go, one more time. Crunching it up, and then pulling it back. Next, that lateral motion. Prepare your toes for stubbing. Let's get a little lateral motion in there. And now working on those ankles. Just gently pressing against the door of your range of motion, but not pushing it wide open. Anything more than normal mobility is a little bit of a risk. You're getting close to hypermobility, close to injury. So we're not trying to create flexibility in the joints here. We're just experiencing their natural mobility and seeing what we can do to facilitate that expanding. Good, and shake it out. After we stretch out the ankles and feet, next, we're going to stretch out your hamstrings. Hamstrings are simple to stretch. We're just going to take one foot, step back, lean back onto it, We're going to start walking out the other foot on the heel with the leg. It looks straight, but I do have a slight bend in my knee. I don't want to put any shear force on that knee. I'm going to rotate at the hips, get that nasal nose alignment squared away with the big toe as much as possible, and then keep a nice flat back, tuck the chin, and just hinge forward. Inhale, get tall through the crown and rotate. Exhale, tuck that chin and hinge forward. Still keeping a slight bend in that knee. And up. Good. Same thing other side. Sitting back into that back leg. Getting tall with the flat back. Rotating. Pulling the toe to the shin here with the stretching leg. Getting your nasal nose alignment correct. Hinge forward. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, spiral forward. Great. Now come on up. I like to do these things 2 or 3 times. If you're feeling more flexible, you might start low on a chair. If you're feeling nice and loose, you can do the same thing with the chair. Stable leg, hinging back, knee slightly bent, rotating and hinging. Inhale, getting tall. Exhale, twisting and hinging forward, keeping that nice flat back. Good. Same thing other side. Inhale, getting tall, settling into that back leg. Exhale, rotating, keeping a slight bend so you're not putting shear force on the kneecap. Going to hinge forward, keeping a nice flat back. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, spiraling. That nasal nose alignment toward the big toe. Good. The next stretch we're going to do is a quad stretch. To stretch out your quadriceps, you can use a wall or a chair. Brace yourself. Grab the ankle. Now just standing here won't stretch you out. You need 2 points at any stretch to create a stretch. So we're going to drive the knee down, press the hip out, and then pull the shoulders down and back. Driving that knee down, pressing the hip out, we're stretching from here to here. We're creating that tension point. I'm bracing the leg with my arm, so I'm pulling in pretty hard here. It's like a bow. The foot pushes against the hand and the hand pulls it back. Great. Switching to the other side, same drill. You're going to post up on that leg, drop the knee down, drive it down hard. Brace the hand and feet against each other, and then push that hip forward. So you're creating that tension you need in order to stretch out those muscles. You have to actively use your conscious control of your mind to push the knee down and the hip out. Otherwise, you're just standing here looking like you're stretching. Great. That was our 3rd stretch for the quadriceps. Now we're going to do our 4th stretch. Stretching out those calves and shins. First, I like to have people do ABCs with their foot. Just get it used to moving. So you can write the ABCs. I've been told to write my name. I have a long name. Some people will write whatever they're writing. I don't know. You take your time. I usually just use a timer. About 15 seconds will do. Waking up the front of the shin. Got to do it on both sides though. Same drill. If you're less stable on one leg or the other leg, go ahead and use a chair. Brace yourself, and then go ahead and write out your ABCs. After about 15 seconds of waking up your shin in this way, I like to recommend people take a walk to warm up. The walk I recommend is a duck walk. Pulling those toes towards the shin. If your heels can take it, I know some people have heel pain. Just walking on those heels, duck walking. Walking back, walking forward. This is a great way, before you go for a run, to help set your shins up so that they're strong and relaxed so that you won't suffer from shin splints. After that, I like to grab a wall or a chair and stretch out the back of my calves here. So what I'll do is just gently brace up against something, start walking a leg back, I'll always have a look because you'll be surprised. A lot of people think their legs are straight and they're really crooked. So I like to look down, make sure my knee, shin, toe alignment is nice and straight so I'm not hurting my kneecap in any way. Get up nice and tall, pull those shoulders down and back, drive the heel back into the ground, stretch out that calf. To stretch it out, you have to have tension points. So that heel needs to be pushing, pushing, pushing. Lengthening up from the torso. And coming on up. Same thing other side. Inhale, getting tall. Exhale, hinging in. And at this point, I actually will straighten my leg all the way. I'm not too worried about shear force here. More focused on hyperextending the knee so I can get a little bit of an extra stretch there with the shin. As long as I've got body weight here and here, I'm not putting too much pressure there while hyperextending to get that extra stretch. Good. The last one, just a real simple stretch. Again, keeping that nice flat back. What you'll do, just cross one foot over the other, like so. Staying up nice and tall, slight bend in the knees, tuck the chin, and hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen, reestablish that back. Exhale, hinge forward. Just holding it. Inhale, lengthening out through the crown, reestablishing. Exhale, hinging. Good. Coming up. And again, on the other side, same drill. Just crossing that foot over the other foot. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, hinge. Tuck the chin. Lengthen out. And hinge. Great. Coming on up. Now you've just done your calf and shin stretches. The last set of stretches we're going to do for your legs are your hip stretches. First, we're going to start with the pigeon stretch, and I'm going to use this chair to help. By getting down on the ground and just placing your heel nice and high, cross your leg. Now sometimes the knee can't quite maintain this. So what I'll do is I'll give just a little push so now my kneecap doesn't feel that pressure of recoiling in. So we stabilize the knee. Now the knee, shin, and toe are nice and straight again, keeping that knee, shin, toe alignment. And we're stretching out, just waking up that hip. If this isn't deep enough, guess what? Bring it down. Or bring the toe to the shin. Or keep pushing here. Same thing other side. Resting nice and high there, crossing the leg. Different hips are different. This one's a little tighter, so I'm going to assist a little bit more by bracing the ankle and foot and bracing the knee, keeping that nice knee, shin, toe alignment. Again, to intensify the stretch, just pull that toe to the shin. Our next hip stretch is the butterfly stretch. Again, using the chair or a wall. If you have a wall, just let your feet come down into butterfly and relax. Just relax. You can brace the knees and push them apart. You can give them a little tug, but once the gravity's got them down where they're going to go, they're there. So this is just a nice way to stretch out those hips, keeping a nice flat back. All right. Our next stretch is just going to be a front split. But don't worry, we don't have to do the front splits today. Just do a modification. So, legs nice and stable. Taking those quadriceps and externally rotating them. Roll those things away. Pull them up. Get the knee, shin, and toe nice and aligned. Grabbing the ground with your feet. You're going to hinge with that flat back. Come on down. that's feeling too easy, yeah, walk it out a little bit. Inhale, get tall, keep that nice flat back. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lengthening out through the crown. Exhale, hinging. Do keep a slight bend in these knees though. You don't want to put shear force on the kneecap. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, hinge. When you're done, bend those knees and roll on up. Now for the side splits, same drill. We're just going to twist the feet like so. Inhale, get tall through the crown. Exhale, really rotate and drive that back hip down so that you're nice and level with your pelvis here. Tall and hinge. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, lengthen, coming up, keeping that back flat. Exhale, hinging. Don't let the knee come down though. Keep a slight bend in it. Then stabilize the knee and come up. Same thing other side. Inhale, getting tall. Exhale, hinging while driving that hip down and back. Lengthen up through the crown and hinge forward. Don't let that knee have any shear force on it though. You want to have a slight bend. You know, and if this is too easy, obviously those legs can just keep going further and further apart. Great. Now, for round 2, for your pigeon, you can take it to the ground. Nice way to do that. So get down with your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. You'll take your right knee, bring it to your right wrist, scoot that left leg back, and rotate. Once you're down here, you can start to inch that foot back, flatten the foot, pull the shoulder in, relax the shoulders, let the head hang. If this is too easy, you can go all the way to the ground. If it's still too easy, you can start to bring this foot higher and higher to increase the stretch. Once you're wherever you're going to be, just settle in and start relaxing, dropping that back hip down, lower and lower. Inhale, bring some energy into that space, and exhale, just relax and drop down. Good. When you're done, hands under the shoulders, come back up, and same thing. Bring the knee to the wrist, pivot, start walking that foot back, and then drop on down to your elbows. Maybe you're not as flexible. Your foot can only come this high, or it can go even higher. Figure out where you're at, and then start settling down into it. Really dropping the hip close to the ground, keeping the neck relaxed and neutral. Great. Now for butterfly, instead of being on the wall or a chair, let's take it another level. Just bring those in nice and close. You can pull your shoulders down and back, and use your inner thighs to press those knees down. Again, every stretch has 2 tension points. Use your conscious control of your knee to drive it down and open up those hips right where they are. And that finishes your hip stretches. So you've done ankle and foot, hamstring stretches, quad stretches, calf and shin stretches, as well as hip stretches. Thank you for joining me, and I hope this helps you.